I am thinking I will start with this one and let this 400 soak a little bit longer. While that's happening, I think this one is sufficiently soaked. So I'll remove this. It's kind of awkward, right? Tell you a little tip. If you're not used to doing something with your left hand that you are accustomed to doing with your right hand, do it with your right hand and imagine your left hand is doing it along with. Switch sides. With your left hand, imagine your right hand is doing it along with. And that way, you can get just as clean a motion because your hands are pretty good at copying themselves. So, just a little tip. This is getting better. I'm going to spend a little more time on them. Look at this day. Amazing. How grateful I am to have a day like this. Now, I've been working on this technique. There's some guys who are really good at this on YouTube, and all you have to do is search for knife sharpening. Some of these guys are really good. But I'm learning from y'all in the chat. There's a lot of guys in here that know a lot, and gals that know a lot more than me. And the tips have been pouring in. If you see my last couple of shorts, the tips have really been rolling in about that. Almost forgot my orientation for a second. So if you guys really want to know how to do some of this stuff, outside of just what you're seeing here, there are a lot of choices in that chat on the shorts. This is already much sharper feeling. I don't have a strop yet. I do have one on the way. It'll be here Sunday. So Sunday I'll have my first strop, and I'll be able to, I guess, refine this process even more. But so far, I'm at 1,000 grit. I did the coarse, and then I did the 400 grit, and now I'm on 1,000. I've probably been on this one longer than any of them. But it is looking good. It is looking good. It's feeling good. Like sharp. So I'm going to keep going. I'm going to go ahead and refine it and bring it back to the next. And these, you have to keep in water. That is not generally my preference. I didn't read the fine print. I think the oil is across the board considered better, but I'm an amateur and this isn't considered bad. It's just they say that oil in the long run is a little more efficient. So this says 3,000 grit. Give it a shot. I mean, that should be pretty extreme. Feels a lot smoother, that's for sure. I don't know how much is overdoing it, if you can over sharpen. Let me know in the chat with a thumbs up if you know. I wonder if I have any paper. You know what the knife guys do, like use paper? I'm really nervous about this one. I'm not sure how sharp is razor sharp, you know what I'm saying? Kind of new to this, y'all. Oh, I got another like. Thank you. Much faster with my right hand with this. Well, not necessarily chasing speed on this one. Chasing a nice, clean blade. Now, this is not an expensive knife. This is a Craftsman. This is a contractor grade knife. This is a very durable knife because it's my everyday carry. I'm a contractor, so I need something that's sturdy. But I also want to know how to get a good, nice edge on it. So I'm doing this. And maybe if you guys are interested in the same thing, you'll be able to do it too, or pick up something here and there as we go. Now I flipped it over and now we are at our highest grit in this set. And this is an Amazon Basic set. This was $30 for the entire set. So it came with 3 of these kind of stones, or 2-sided. So essentially you get 6 sharpening surfaces. And you get this little cradle for it. And yeah, I like it. So far it's pretty nice. Now, I made this little contraption here with a little water pump that doesn't like to get pulled out of the water, obviously. But let me adjust that. Oh man. Anyway, so I put that together so that I could keep this stone wet, because it is a necessary part of the process for sure. I think we've been soaking for probably a half hour now, so I think we're good for a minute. Get the noise down. And we are on our 8,000 grit. Now, 8,000 grit seems like a lot, and I don't know how you could gauge it to be certain of that, but like this thing felt sharp at 800 grit, so 8,000 must be pretty incredible. So I think what we're doing now is going super light because we're just trying to take off the very little bit of that burr, because I can't feel it, so I feel like we're good. We need to find some paper to cut, if this thing cuts paper. Wait. Yes. Alright. Let's see. Drum roll. Wait. It just pressed it down. No, it does. It's sort of like terrible. All right, we got more work to do. Quite obviously. I wonder if more of this or more of that. Maybe we go back to the 3,000 and then jump back up to the 8. Let's try that. Or maybe I'm just bad at this. Maybe it takes longer. Now, told y'all I worked this blade out pretty heavy. Like, I cut a couple straps with it today. Cut a couple plastic boxes open and straps off of some tile and some stone I had delivered today. So I don't know. It wasn't super sharp then. Like, I've been sharpening this thing all week, but it was so blunt. Had to put an entirely new edge on it. So now we're in the process of trying to refine what we hope is that edge, but it may just still be too blunt. I may have to like carve into it on something like a chisel. I can do that pretty easy because it's a flat surface. I can gauge it by sight pretty well, and I can do markers and things like that that hold it. But let's see what that does. Like, that kind of felt sharp, but we've embarrassed ourselves before. Let's try it again. At least we're learning something. All right, sunshine, help us out. Let me make sure this is dry. Maybe that's the thing. That was very forced. Yeah, it was pretty forced. It snags paper. So, paper, you wait there. Get back to some sharpening. Now, I can feel it. Like, it definitely feels sharper. Let's see if y'all can see anything. You know, but that's a pretty thick bevel on that thing. Particularly like at the tip. So, I wonder if I go down some more and then work my way back. Well, I guess up some more and work my way back. Because I'm a little disappointed in that. Let's see, what is this? 400, 1,000. Let's do 1,000, go back to 3,000. See what we get. All right, here we go. So embarrassed. Thanks for not laughing at me in the chat. Oh, probably are. I just probably can't see it. Thanks for the 3 people that gave me a like. I appreciate it. I will start linking these products when I really have an idea of something that's good. All of this I'm experimenting with right now, so that's why I'm not being very specific about them. But this is an Amazon Basics kit is what it is. Thank you for the like just now. I saw that. I appreciate you. The Amazon Basics kit that I got is like 30 bucks, and it comes with all 3 of these stones that have 2 sides. They do have to be wet, and I don't think you can put oil on these, whereas like the diamond ones, I think you can do oil, which I think is preferable. Now I can feel a little burr on this now, and maybe that's what I'm feeling that's making me feel like this thing is sharp. But I'm gonna keep working it. And I'll go all the way back up to the 8,000 again. Right now we're on the, was it 800? No, 1,000. It seems like plenty, right? Like as a contractor, you like grab some 220 grit sandpaper and that'll be it. But we are trying to do better. So this is the process. And if we're going to experiment, you know what I'm saying, spending money on this stuff, I want people to see it so that they know whether or not it makes sense to spend money on this stuff. I don't think most sharpening processes are as long as this is. This is such an industrial knife and such an abused knife. And frankly, just not intended for refined usage. But despite that, I think that's what we're gonna do, is refine it, because if we can get this blade nice and sharp, then we'll deserve a better blade, so that we're not just abusing everything, right? Here we go. Back to the old 3,000. That's what we call that in the South, 3,000. Somebody told me I sounded arrogant because I said y'all and uneducated. What do you all think? I think I sound like my mom and my daddy. That's what I think I sound like. And this is something that you kind of get a hang of. I mean, just, what was it, 20 minutes ago when we started this feed, I was not as smooth with this. And I didn't really get it, the motion itself. And I'd seen it plenty, but it's sort of a thing you have to experience. And your finger will find the same spot after a while, and it'll rub on the same spot, and then you'll keep that same angle. It seems like you get more consistent, in your ability as well. I just wanted to re-soak that thing. It's sitting in a pool of water, so I don't have a lot of concern about it. I had it soaking a good half hour before I went on live. This again is the 3,000 grit. I've worked my way up to it from 300 grit, I think. And now I'm just carrying this stroke and continuing this pull. it's kind of a really hard motion to describe. It is this part of my finger just resting on the stone itself, pressed, and then my blade sitting on this at whatever angle that gives me from here to here, and you just kind of feel it. Also, this finger back here, I'm pressing against, right, so that I can kind of keep the same place. The key, as I've been understanding it for sharpening, is particularly freehand sharpening, is finding a consistent placement so that you can keep your angle and you keep your bevel consistent, so that you're not kind of in a process of constantly putting it on, taking it off, putting it on, taking it off. And it's just, finding that place. I don't know what degree this would be, but I could show you. When my finger's there, that's about where I'm at. I think that was another like since the last time I looked. Thank you for that. Shouts out to you for being dope. So we're going to keep pulling this on that 3000 grit. Nice and smooth. Neighbor's dog having a good time being a dog. That one didn't sound as tough as the first. I'm going to keep going with this. Consistency. And this is a knife, again, that has been abused. Now, if it's not ready, I might have to go back down to another heavier grit to establish that bevel. I might not have done that well enough yet. And if I haven't, then all of this fine sharpening is going to take forever. So let's go back to the 8000. Let's see. Let's just see how we feel. Let's compare. Maybe this is dull too. All right, let's try it because they feel similar. So, take a trip over to the It sounded like cutting paper, but it wasn't. It was scratching paper. I don't know if that counts. I don't know if we want to set the bar that low. I don't know if we want to set the bar that low. Now we've done this for probably a half hour, I think. Let's throw it back. Yikes. Let's throw him back in there. We can always go backwards and rework our way through. So we're going to go back to the coarse, and then we'll move on to the finer grits after that. Now, that's plenty sharp for what I generally do in my day, but I really do want to learn how to do this well, because I will be having knives that I want to whittle wood with. Wes does whittling wood. You know what I'm saying? And I want something that can do it. Look at that, though. Like, that ain't too bad. That ain't half bad for wet pine. You know what I'm saying? So, we're not calling you a failure, old girl. We're just saying we want you to be at your full potential. Yeah, I would love to have some mineral oil on this. Unfortunately, these particular stones cannot. They only take water. And I didn't know that when I got them because on my diamond cuboid, I do have oil on it and I do use oil for it. But it does not get as high in grit as these do. And that's why I got that. And in fact, I did order a strop, Lee. It'll be here Sunday. So I don't have it yet. A lot of this, as I said, I'm pretty new to. Not new to knives, I'm not new to carpentry. I am fairly new to woodworking, and I wouldn't call myself according to Hoyle woodworker. Uh, yeah, I wouldn't just yet. All right, so we're gonna go all the way back to the 400 and see if we can get that. Can use cardboard and stretch. That's a good idea. I knew a guy who would use paper bags, paper grocery bags, as his final finish on cabinets after we had done all of our final coats and sanding. We put on our polyurethane and he would just use that paper bag like he was sanding with a sandpaper. Yeah, I've listen, Krishna. I tell you, I've sharpened knives at work my whole career, but you know what I do? I drag it right across an old brick on the on the ground. I just, because we just need it sharp enough to cut something fast, but not to do anything refined. Nobody's really cutting paper uh, when I'm doing what I do for a living. However, nothing wrong with learning how to step your game up, evolve. You know what I'm saying? I could have been a shark bite plumber for crying out loud. But no, I learned proper technique on that. Learned proper technique on construction and building houses, tile work, and by gum, I'm going to learn proper technique on this. This might be my best effort so far. Like where I feel like kind of the technique I'm doing is proper. So, y'all roll with me. Oh man, you're in kitchens. I'm sure somebody in that kitchen knows what to do with a proper knife. I'm sure they know more than me. I had to. I'm gonna let him sit in that water a little bit. Make sure he ain't bubbling. Put a little bit in my pan. Let him keep soaking up. All right, we back to the 1,000 grit. I think I've earned my place back in the thayals. Well, I'm hoping I can do some shaving with this. I remember back in the day, my grandfather had an old leather belt he'd pull off. But they carried like these little pearl handle or mother of pearl pocket knives. Those old school guys, man. I swear this feels super sharp right now. I'm gonna try it. I probably should wait and not continue to disappoint myself, but I'm gonna keep trying because every time it feels sharp, I want to cut paper, and I don't. Wait, I didn't. I didn't. That's usually what I'm. That's usually how I cut something with a knife. But it did make a A nice little slice once it's in there. I don't know if that counts. I don't know if any knife guy would say that counts. So we shall continue. Where are we at? 1,000? 1,000. Soak, soak, soak. Hey, somebody gave me another like. I appreciate you. But it's 5 of y'all. It's really showing me this free love. I appreciate it. Good business. It's nice today. I decided to be out at the shop. I want to take a look. Look at it. Look at it. It's freaking incredible out here. It's incredible out here. I should put something on that grill. That's what I should be doing. Maybe tomorrow. This takes a little time. Butcher stone. That sounds intense. A butcher stone? That sounds intense, bro. I saw a honing tool. Got a little intrigued by that. Kind of wondering if that's something I need to get. They say that should be the thing in between this and the strap, but I don't know how fancy pants that actually is, you know what I'm saying? If that's common practice or if that's overkill. I never really know because I don't have a specialty in it. But key to happiness is fearlessness. Not foolishness, fearlessness. Doing stuff that you're motivated to do. And doing them fearlessly. And the universe unfolds with you. Yeah, that would be awful. Fortunately, I am using this finger over here, I don't know if you can see it, to keep me from going any further than I want to go here. So that's helping me out a lot, just to keep me in the same place. I would have gloves on, and the right thing to do would be to have gloves on, I think. My truck put in the shop yesterday to get a new transmission, vroom vroom. But I left all my gloves in the toolbox in the back. So today, you gotta look at my ugly hands. My ugly hands. That is the first glimpse of some sort of polish that we've really seen on this blade. To wear something shiny. So we're gonna keep working it. If I look at it real dumb close, I'm thinking that edge still needs some work on that tip. So I'm gonna put a little intentional focus on it. A little concentrated effort on it. Same on this side. I've got some shorts. Oh, that's much better. I've got some shorts with all of this on it. Some of this on it. This is better. This is definitely getting better. Um, I'll keep going. I think I might have, maybe should have been a little bit more aggressive about the lighter grits, the higher, lower number grits, I think. Because this seems to be the way to go. And maybe I'll lighten up as I go higher in the grit. I don't know if it's better to drag the blade instead of pushing it. What I'm doing is dragging it. I'm kind of pulling it like that. And when I get to the end, just kind of, yeah, I would say that's more of a drag. This doesn't help keep the same scratch pattern? What do you mean? You mean switching from dragging to pushing? Right. I got you. Same direction. There's an old rap song by De La Soul. And they say that pushing is better than shoving, but I'd rather know a shover than a pusher because a pusher's a jerk. Yep, I've got unnecessary 90s rap music stuck in my head forever. Let's see. 3,000. We're going to try it again. Have we gotten ourselves to 3,000 technique yet? Well, we can go into the 3,000 and actually make something of it. Because I think you're right. By the time you're at 3,000 grit, you really should be doing cutting some paper, man. Hey, I got another like. Thank you. Good stuff. I appreciate y'all, man. Just for coming to hang out with me. It's a beautiful day to do it. Where y'all at? I'm in Georgia. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. Well, the outskirts. Where you can have trees. Let's get a little more. I don't know, I like to dump this thing. I like to put that pump back on, but it got a little loud, and I don't want to drown my voice out. I'm already a pretty low speaking dude. Plus, you couldn't hear those awesome dogs in the background saying, hey. Oh, the seductive glide of my blade across the stone of water. You're in the UK? Oh man, well, that's nice. What's the weather like out there? Christian, I know what it's like in Texas right now. Are y'all hot yet? Is it hot in Texas yet? It is. It's cold for a second here, and then it's warm, and then it's cold. Right now, it's fantastic. It's right in the middle, and I love it. Jeez, what time is it in the UK, Leeds? It can't be this time of day. Right now here, it's like, what, 6:30-ish p.m.? It sort of feels, you know how it's where it kind of can snag your skin a little bit, you know? You feel like a little resistance when you're going across. That's kind of where I'm at with this right now, I think. But I think I'm really going to give it some time on this 3000 because, or should I give it less time on the higher grits? I don't know. Ugh. Oh man, so you are settling in for the evening, huh? Well, last year, my wife and I went to Thailand. Um, her mother's to her mother's hometown, and it was exactly 12 hours difference, and it was really tough keeping up with when I could call the kids back home. Let's see where we're at. We got a nice little bevel. Now this material's coming off here. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. What's up, buddy? Hear that dog? I'll bark back at him. Oh, there's a little stray running around in the backyard of my neighbors. His dog's on the patio going nuts. I think I won. Oh, dang it. I was trying to win the bark off. I did not. Yeah, Lee, I'm sorry, man. I got you. I gotta get this paper sliced, dude. I gotta get this paper sliced. Other people have different dreams and aspirations. Me, I need to slice paper, baby. I just need to slice this paper, bro. All right, I think this is how we pull the burr. All right. Shall we do it? Slicing some paper. All right. That's our first time actually getting into it. But look, our slice sucks. It's a very rudimentary slice. Let's try it again. It did it. It's a little forced. I'm sorry, Lee. I let you down. Onward. But we have made progress. That was the closest to actually getting a slice that we were able to do, I'd say. I'm just gonna not take that phone call. How about that? I don't know that I like the stuff coming off on the thing, right? Because if it's doing that, it's got to be removing material. And if it's removing material, how's this gonna stay flat for me to do things like my hand plane blades? Like, that's not gonna be good. That's not gonna let me keep a square, flat edge. So I think I'm gonna stick to the diamond blades for those, and maybe even just get a new set, because I think I like the oil better. I mean, this process is cool, but it is messy. I'm glad to be doing it outside, but like, just keeping a bucket of water in the shop is just not going to be one of my favorite things to do, no matter what. I'm going to bump to this 8,000, see what it does, and then we're going to go back to our paper, see if we believe in ourselves enough to try it again. 'Cause this has been an ongoing effort. The dogs are arguing at me again. I've got a backyard for the squirrels too, so they go crazy about that. I'm gonna show you. It's a little creek down there. All right. Back to work. Puppy said hey. Thanks for the likes. I got another one. I'm not greedy about those likes, y'all. Don't go too far out of your way. If you're driving, don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? But if you do got a second, cool beans. I appreciate it. Every little bit does something. And you don't have to spend any money with me. And you get this free Amazon Basics product review. This set of sharpening stones comes with 3 distinctive sets of stone grit. A very basic, heavy grit, coarse stone. 3,000 to 8,000 and another soaking in the water, and I don't feel like looking it up. But I am liking how my blade is looking. I will say that, fellas. I will say that. A flattening plate. Sounds like more work. I guess. Could buy a flattening plate, or maybe I could just buy a plate that stays flat to sharpen on. But I don't know. But I do kind of like the feel of this. Jesus, that felt sharp. I'm not even gonna play games with y'all right now. Paper's gonna cut this time. What? That's because it was dry. That's what happened. It was wet. Oh, I got it. Now I got it. That's a legit slice. But can I call it that? It's weird. It's like, yeah. I don't know. Pretty close. Let's do some more then. Like, that's 3,000. That's the best we've gotten so far. Kerchunk. All right. All the things I do, all the money I spend trying to make YouTube happy. Keep blocking the water. Oh, look at that. Let's look at that. We didn't have that before. We didn't have shimmery ninja shing shing. I do have a strap coming, Camage. It is on arrival on Sunday. These just came today, so I am working on them. But yes, a strop, I have heard that, and I'm loud and clear on that bad boy. So, good advice. I appreciate that. And you got sharpening in your name, so you definitely know more than me. So, I'm glad to be on the right path. My neighbor's dogs are going crazy over there. You being dogs, I love it. Thumbs up. Give me a like if you like dogs. I'll just start pandering at this point. You don't have to like me. You don't have to like me. I'll just keep sharpening my knife. A ceramic rod? You know what? We were just talking about that right before you got here, I think. Because there's isn't that called like a honing rod or something like that? And it's kind of like right between this process and the strop process. If I'm understanding properly, I may not be, but that's what I heard. So today I've been trying to work my technique, and this is what I've come up with. I kind of got my angle set this way. Got this finger here, and I'm getting buzzed by a little bee right now. So good vibes, good vibes. And that's kind of what I do. I feel like it's working. I almost cut paper. Oh, you do it after the strop. Gotcha. Okay. Look at that. Learn something new every day. This is why I love YouTube. If I didn't have a YouTube channel, I'd still be on YouTube about a million times a day because I promise you, I'm on here learning all kinds of cool stuff. And I remember when I was a kid, there was no internet. There was Encyclopedia Britannica. And the encyclopedia salesman would come to your house and sell you physical copies. And they would arrive every couple of months because, unless you were rich, you really couldn't afford them all at once. So my mom would get the Encyclopedia Britannicas, and I'd get them, and I would just be amazed. I'm like, this is all free information. I can know stuff. It doesn't cost me anything. And I have felt that way pretty much about everything my whole life. Free information is amazing. So, whenever I've got information, it's free information. Oh my God, that's gotta be it. That's gotta be it. That's gotta be it. That felt so sharp. Okay. One more drum. I'm not even gonna build it up and disappoint everybody. Okay, let's see. That was our first legit cut that wasn't a tear into the paper. So we're slice paper sharp. Fantastic. Now that would be probably the first time this knife has been that sharp. Let's see what we got up to. 8,000 grit. Amazon Basics. Came with a little bamboo tray. A couple little plastic doohickeys. Came with that thing. Came with that thing. A couple of these little plastic cradles. And this, I think this maybe helps you get your bevel or something. I didn't trust it, so I didn't do it very much. That's what we got. I wasn't mad at this setup. I'm not. I think this does the job. I think once you, like, this was extremely dull. I think once you have something like this done, and you don't go around stabbing concrete bags like I do with it, then you can probably maintain that pretty quickly, pretty easily, and not deal with a whole lot of rigmarole like this every time. I think it would just be tuning and honing and maybe a little bit of, certainly not an hour worth of effort like we just took. But I'm not mad at that hour worth of effort because I've always got cheap little knives that need help. This one ain't sharp either. So I'm going to work on that one too. But right now, I think I'm just going to enjoy this sunset on my back porch. Terrible. Excellent. All right, y'all have a good one. See me later. I'll see you later. Quick sharpen on cardboard. I'm going to do that. That's a good idea, Lee. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate Carnage Knife Sharpening. Yo, subscribe. I'm going to try to, I'm going to follow you too, if I can find you. Carnage Knife Sharp. Just comment on one of my shorts or something. I'm going to look for you, bro. Peace. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for all the free info. Hope y'all got something out of it. Next time, West does it.